My name's Token D Rock here with another stream. Hopefully, all of you are having a wonderful day. It is Wednesday, September 28th, 10:19 a.m. Central Standard Time for watching us live. Hopefully, all of you slept tight amid the market volatility that we've been experiencing. Market cap for crypto right now is sitting at $937 billion. Bitcoin dominance getting closer to 40%, right now at 39.7%. ETH dominance at 17.3%. Can see that Bitcoin has recovered a little bit from the volatility it's been seeing here in the short term, sitting at 19.4. Is it a fake out? We will see soon enough. ETH sitting just above 1325, BNB right around 276, Cardano 43, 44 cents. It likes to dance in that zone. Solana just below $33. Polkadot at 641. We can see here in the past 24 hours, the bulls have put in a little bit of work, bringing us from the lows right around 18.5 to right now just below 19.550. That is the next line of support that the bulls need to regain before we move higher. There are a few things going on, though, around the globe that don't make me too bullish on this scenario. I think we're actually going to go lower here next week or two. On the hourly chart, we can see, again, to break the trend, we would like to see a rally above 20,400, roughly speaking. We'd like to get back up here for the sentiment in the crypto market to change to bullish. I already hear some people, calling for 25K. It's like, all right, settle down, guys. Let's do it level by level. Let's do 19,550, then 19,800, and then 20,400, and move from there. Let's not get ahead of ourselves because, again, there are a lot of things going around the globe that may drag us lower. Again, looking at the 1-day chart, we still have some decent ground to cover before we see any massive movement out of Bitcoin to the upside. Again, a lot of levels to regain. Heading over to the news, we have the European Central Bank president saying Europeans want instant person-to-person digital payments. She's kind of referring to CBDCs. Meanwhile, most of us are thinking Bitcoin. Those of us who don't want to be dominated and controlled via our transactions will opt for Bitcoin and not a CBDC. Here we have Bloomberg saying billionaire Jihan Wu is launching $250 million fund to buy distressed assets from Bitcoin miners. Kind of interesting. Is this billionaire hopping into the crypto game? Or is she essentially funding these miners? Maybe these miners are getting to the point where it doesn't make too much sense to hold on to the mining rigs, so they're about to sell the rigs. Is this billionaire potentially just buying up things around their houses to continue their mining process, or is she outright, or are they outright buying the miners themselves? Kind of a good question to be asking. New York Times recognizing that Bitcoin is holding strong as fiat currencies fail. This is rather bullish. Again, this is a major publisher putting this out there saying the cryptocurrency has risen 6.5% over the past 7 days, bucking the trend. The strong dollar sinks other currencies. And just in, we have $33 billion digital bank Revolt over in the UK wins approval to offer Bitcoin and crypto in the UK. Again, more people are going to be adopting Bitcoin and crypto across the globe with initiatives like this. Here we have US home prices are falling for the first time in a decade per Bloomberg. Over on Jay Bravo's channel, he talked about how the housing market's actually crashing right now. So not a good time. Here we have global currencies performance over the past week. UK's currency, or the digital pound, is down, or their pound is down 5.3%. The euro is down 3.5%. Chinese yuan is down 2.2%. And the Japanese yen, I believe, is down 0.7%. This is all in a week. Meanwhile, Bitcoin is down, oh, or is up a whopping 5%. Now, we have the bears here down in the comment section talking about how Bitcoin over the past year is down a whopping 73%. But again, as these currencies around the globe continue to decline in value, we will see a lot of that money flow into USD and then into Bitcoin. So people like this, the bears like this guy, they're not going to be too happy. They will be eating those words. Just in, S&P 500 closes at its lowest level since December 2020. Now, if you recall, March 2020 is when we had the major capitulation, major sell-off, just as COVID was starting to permeate many countries' borders. And so this is December 20 is actually, I'm not 2020. I'm not going to say it was before the huge rally, but it was a decent time before, Bitcoin hit 64 and then 68K. This is a whopping 5 months ahead of that. And then if we're talking about 68K, this is a good 10 months ahead of that. So just putting things into perspective, things are probably at the point where Bitcoin was right around 20 to $30,000, stock market wise. Here we have IMF is monitoring UK economic developments and is engaged with authorities. The irony. Financial institutions are being asked by regulators to avoid trading activity that may create large volatility in the securities market. I'm curious as to what sources are saying this, but again, not a good look. That's just kind of feeding the narrative that the market's really shaky, kind of hitting a glass floor, so to speak, and may go lower. $1 equals one euro. What's £1 soon? So I probably got that backwards. Pardon me. Everything breaks, and the Great Reset arrives, and it is kind of weird that the currencies are kind of getting closer to one another in value. That's how they're being positioned to do so. But again, time will tell whether this actually happens. If it does, that would be something else. And would the would the Great Reset be arriving if that were to happen? Not sure. What do you guys think? Let me know down below. Here we have the state of central bank digital currencies. This is more or less what these countries are looking to more or less do. Over 100 countries worldwide are exploring digital currencies, more popularly known as cryptocurrency. Introducing regulated digital currency issued by countries' central banks presents many opportunities. This graphic explores the state of CBDC globally. Um, as we can see, we have Russia, China, and they're all basically testing out a CBDC of some sort. The US is currently researching. They're going to be developing a CBDC of some sort along with Britain and much of Europe. In the next year or two, we should see pretty much all the big name countries have their own CBDC of some sort. Pardon me, and that is not good for you or me because that will affect Social Security, that will affect unemployment. It's not a good sign because you're just gonna have more and more control over what you can and can't do with your money. Just in, Russia says at the UNSC, United Nations Security Council, that Donbass, Kherson, and Zaporizhia are now returning to their homeland. I do believe that uh, the U.S., along with a few other countries, basically made a threat that if Russia annexes any part of Ukraine, that it will mean war to some extent, or um, military action. We'll call for military action. And kind of weird that that happens same day as this. Here we have the Danish military has released volatile footage of a mysterious frothing disturbance in the Baltic Sea, the vicinity of the Nord Stream pipelines. Is there more to this? They're not being told. Poland's former Minister of National Defense and Foreign Minister has posted "Thank you USA" with a picture of Nord Stream gas leaks. Again, is there something more to this that we don't know about? It is kind of interesting to entertain the possibility that the U.S. did sabotage the Nord Stream pipelines. Did they do it? Did Russia do it? Did a European nation do it? It's not looking good, you guys, because we have Joe Biden. Oh my goodness, where's the clip? I closed the tab. That's what I hate about having. Ugh. It's what I don't like about having all these tabs is you can accidentally close them. But you had Joe Biden basically saying that if Russia invades the Ukraine, Nord Stream and Nord Stream 2 would not go through. Here we have Victoria Nuland. This is coming from the Department of State Department of the USA, saying if Russia invades Ukraine one way or another, Nord Stream 2 will not move forward. Again, this is a whopping like 8 months ago, you guys. Were they trying to tell us something? Were they being subliminal? And here we have two nuclear power plants in southern Germany must run beyond the end of the year. Economy Minister Habeck of the Green Party suddenly says again, the Green Party is all about renewables this, renewables that. Forget the average citizen. We must do what's in the best interest of everybody. Green Party is now all of a sudden saying we need to keep powering the power plants. Uh, kind of interesting timing. And then we have this. We have Poland's president and prime minister inaugurated Baltic Pipe today. New gas pipeline will bring 10 billion cubic meters of Norwegian gas to Poland per year. Will make it possible for Poland to become 100% independent of Russian gas. Are we seeing similar initiatives or movements from these European countries elsewhere? Are they setting up other pipelines to more or less free themselves of their dependence on Russian gas? As you can see, here we have Nord Stream 1 and 2 pipeline are down. Are they going to chop up these other ones? Again, time will tell. Um, Either way, things are not looking good for Europe coming this fall and winter. It's going to be a cold one. Denmark assesses that Nord Stream gas leaks were caused by a deliberate act and could not have been a result of accidents. This is coming from the Prime Minister, Mette Frederiksen, and Swedish Uppsala University seismologist regarding Nord Stream pipeline. We are very certain these were explosions. This was not an earthquake and not a landslide. Assessment is that the second bigger explosion corresponded to more than 100 kilos of dynamite. Not good sign. Not a good sign. Deliberate sabotage. This is all happening during an energy crisis. Like, what gives? Are they trying to start World War III? Because it seems like they are. And it's this huge gas crisis. It's kind of putting a stop on the whole green narrative, that we need to just run everything off renewables and stuff. I mean, here we have back in 2018, Bill Gates slamming wind and solar energy as being unreliable, saying whenever we came up with this term clean energy, I think it screwed up people's minds.
So a lot of
This
people,
is a man himself
as you
talking
know,
about how
wind,
climate change
wind
is
and
such
solar
a
renewables costs are going
concern
down,
and
the
blah blah
battery
blah,
costs are going
and
down.
he was
I think
bashing
that's a lot more
renewables
easy.
like wind and solar energy as being unreliable. So does this guy, like, what changed between now and then? You know, why is he saying something different? Because it benefits him. Here we have, we talked about yesterday how the prime minister of Italy was elected. Italy holds democratic election. Pundits are now saying this is a frightening blow to democracy. And we did kind of discuss the idea that maybe she isn't everything she's chalked up to be. Georgia Melani and the digital green certificate, we were the first to support it. Hope that it will be adopted as soon as possible in all European states. Italy election, Maloney, WEF. So this is a bit concerning, you guys, because here we thought we got in an official that had our best interest in mind, stood by our side policy wise. But here we're finding that we actually elected someone who is also owned by the WEF, or the World Economic Forum. Seems like they just about they own pretty much all the politicians, or a large proportion of them. I mean, look, here we thought we were winning, getting Maloney and or Milani, and now we're learning that she was actually pushing for the green pass, the COVID passports. Like, what gives? I thought she was fighting it. Guess not. Here we have gardening, canning, and other signs of far right extremism to watch out for. Like, how ridiculous is this? And the sad thing is, there's shit brain NPCs that believe in this bullshit. Oh, if you're canning, gardening, oh, you might be a right wing, far right wing extremist. What's kind of interesting here, we have Reuters saying no trace of mRNA vaccine found in breast milk, gene found that helps identify COVID 19 early. Now they're saying detection of messenger RNA, COVID 19 vaccines in human breast milk. It's interesting how a little bit of research goes a long way in finding what's what, the truth. Ask Damon, should I get my anti-vax friends baby vaccinated without telling them? Like, these are sick people, you guys. Like, why would someone entertain this? Yeah, I'm just gonna, you know, when you leave your kid with me for a few hours, I'll just take them to the doctor and make sure that they're vaccinated. Like, it's all levels of crazy, all types of crazy here. What do you guys think's gonna happen on the bigger picture? Are we gonna see Bitcoin, stock market, markets across the board just tank as a result of this pipeline being sabotaged? What possibly may have been a European country, might have been the US, might have been Russia, for all we know. I mean, and you know, the State Department, along with Joe Biden, set themselves up perfectly to look like the bad guy, because for all we know, they said these things. Russia actually sabotaged the pipeline, but then they're like, "Oh well, they said they were going to do it, so look the other way." Whether that actually happened or not, I'm not going to say. Needs to come out regarding the pipeline sabotage and who did it, but things are not looking good, you guys. Not trying to sound bleak, but I would make sure you guys have some extra blankets for the winter, especially if you're in Europe. Make sure you stockpile on food. Maybe if you're in warmer climates, maybe get gardening if you can. I know it's a bit late in the season to start doing that, but I know in the southern states it doesn't cool down as much. So just something to consider. Maybe stockpile some water, some food. Don't hoard. Everyone needs, food and water. So make sure they get theirs. But yeah, I hope you guys take care, and I will be streaming tomorrow, 10:15 a.m. Central Standard Time. Until then, guys, take care and invest wisely. Take care of your